One summer, when I was in my 20s and still single, my older cousin Michael said, "We've got to go hunting. We've got to get some ducks for my family." This was the beginning of September, and the ducks were starting to fly south for the winter. Even though it was still summer weather in Fort Good Hope, we loaded a snowmobile with a winter toboggan into a 20-foot flat-bottom plywood boat. It was hard work, but we got it all in, and we headed down the Mackenzie River. We had guns and enough food for 2 or 3 nights. On the way downriver, we passed 4 fish camps on the shore. Families were living there in canvas tents with their dog teams setting nets. They were making dry fish for the winter, for their dogs and themselves, and to sell to the Hudson's Bay Company. It was good to be outside that day. There was a clear sky and a light wind making small waves on the river. We passed a place on the west side of the Mackenzie River called On Kefle de la Bird Rock Creek. There are about 7 tents. That shoreline is mostly sand sprinkled with gravel and pebbles, and right behind them was 100-foot high sloping bank of silt and small rocks. We could see that the camp was busy. There were many dogs and boats, and as we went by that afternoon, people were working away and waving at us. We landed a couple of miles below that camp on the shore. We unloaded the snowmobile and the toboggan, and then we took the motor off the boat and pulled it high up on the bank so it would be safe in case the river level went up while we were gone. We loaded the toboggan with our gear and hooked it up to the snowmobile. Michael started up and pulled me and everything else up that 100-foot bank through the dirt and gravel. I had to cover my eyes to protect them from the dust and little rocks flying everywhere. Once we got to the top, we saw an abandoned airstrip, and we went along the trail next to it, still driving the snowmobile up the dirt along a mile inland. We had to keep stopping to make sure the snowmobile didn't overheat. When we got to the lake, we took out our hunting canoe. We jumped in, paddled out, and started shooting ducks. We shot ducks until it got too dark to see. Then we headed to a place where there was a little open piece of shoreline, just enough room for a fire and 2 people to sleep. It was no more than 2 or 3 inches above the water level. It was a perfect little place, and that's where we camped.